Good morning, everybody. This is Flatboy Sam.
LG from the North.
And today we're presenting authentic leadership and
team leadership.
Let's get right into it. All right, so authentic leadership. It's one of the newest areas of leadership that's being developed. And it's really developed over time because of certain events like 9/11 and corporate scandals that have been prevalent around the world during the time it was developed. All right, so 3 things that are focused in this: genuine leadership, conviction, and being original. So basically, it emphasizes leading from your own personal experiences. Emphasis on your own personal experience. Because how can you really be genuine and portray that to your group members if you're leading off of someone else's convictions, beliefs, ethics, all of that, right?
That's true.
All right, so you have to be relational and compassionate. You have to be able to build relationships with your group members. This will allow them to build more faith in you and your decisions. All right, so one important thing, it can be developed. This is very different from the old theories that were made back in the day. They basically focused on everything being genetic, how you were born a leader, and if you're not born a leader, it can't be developed. This is very different from that. Okay, so in this we have 4 key components: self-awareness, internalized moral perspective, balanced processing, and relational transparency. Yeah. So self-awareness, so basically you have to be able to know yourself, know your feelings, and know what you stand for. This will allow you to make firm decisions that are true by your ethics. Internalized moral perspective. So basically, you have to know you have to have your own moral standards, of course, for you to lead, Balanced processing. So basically, this one is very key for this type of leadership. So you have to be able to listen to the input of other people, especially those who disagree with you in your group. It will allow you to make fair decisions and build more trust with your group members because they know that you're listening to them, you value the input, and yet basically it goes well with the component of relational transparency. So basically you have to be open and honest with your group. That also plays a key part in building trust with them. So, to sum it up in a couple strengths right here. So basically, this leadership is key for building trust in your group. And another strength of it is that there's actually guidelines to how you could develop this type of leadership. These are some criticisms about the theory. So there's really no empirical evidence. This really means that there's not really any events that they observe or examine to really come up with this theory. So it's really just like, could be made off the top of your head. But yeah, and there's another question that really ties into it. What does morals have to do with leadership anyway? Because you've seen me talk about it a lot during this presentation so far, and it's like, is that really play a key? That's really something that's, you could say, developed by us. Society developed that mentality that has to be, deal with morals. And like, although I said before there were guidelines, it's not really too particular in how to really develop.
After going into authentic leadership, now I'll be going into team leadership. So team leadership is a specific type of group composed of members who are all interdependent and share the same goals, who must coordinate what they do around their objective, and the power can be either shared by all individuals in the group, or it could be given to one person, and also everyone has the same goal. You might ask, what is interdependent? Interdependent means that everyone relies on one another. So basically, let's say me and Sam, right now, we're doing a group project, meaning me and him are interdependent. I can't move forward in the project if Sam doesn't move forward. And Sam can't finish off the project and do what he needs to do if I don't bring my piece to the table. Hope you guys understand that. So with team leadership comes interventions. Now interventions, just to sum it up and just say in simple words, are when you step in. Interventions can be either internal or external. Internal meaning with problems that are happening within the group. And when things like that occur, that means there are either problems of like misunderstandings amongst the team members, or team members who can't work along, or some who think that they don't really understand the goals or the vision isn't really clear. That's when whoever the leader is must step in and intervene and say, you know what, here's the goal. You know what, we need to do this and that to make sure we get back on track. Or there can even be cases of disciplinary actions that are held to make sure that everything comes back in order. And then with the external interventions, that's whatever happens on the outside. So let's say someone was in charge of a organization and there can't be the organization can't do anything because they don't have the proper funding to do so. Proper funding which is needed, the lack of funding, that right there is an external problem, and therefore an intervention will be made. Or if there isn't support, a support system that helps that group, then that is also an external problem. And at times, a leader, when they intervene to step in, what they will try to do is try to find help, or they will try to reorganize things and plan more activities that'll get things jumping again. And an example of one of those activities is possibly a fundraiser. Let's say a youth football team needs to travel to go to one of their games or tournaments, but they don't have the proper amount of funds to do so. A fundraiser would be a perfect example of an intervention to help solve that external problem. Now for similarities and differences.
Okay, so I will be presenting similarities. Okay, so for authentic and team leadership, both of them like to stress maintaining and building good morale in the group. Just basically bringing the group closer. So they both have a vision. They both focus on having a vision, a clear team goal to have. Okay. They both really emphasize also how the results will come if everybody in the group is on the same page. And last but not least, they both stress the interpersonal skills, the leader, and the team.
Now for the differences. Authentic leadership, unlike team leadership, is given to one individual. Even though at times team leadership can be given to one person, it is seen that it can be distributed amongst all of the members. Another difference is that team leadership is more reliable because there is actual research to back it up. However, authentic leadership has little to no. For watching our video. Once again, I'm LJ from the North.
Flatboy Sam, and please stand by for more examples.